But let me make sure this is not going to fall off. Okay, we are live as far as I can tell. Oh boy. Let me just tape it on there. So from here on out, no more cursing. Oh, you're gonna want to put yourself on that computer on mute too.
I am. What do you know?
Okay. Just taping this to make sure that it's not going to fall off while we're this is our very technical. Okay. I'm gonna sit right there.
I know.
You do now? Alright.
Yeah.
Well, that is a good thing to understand. Hey, look, I'm sitting next to you.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Okay, I think we're on now. Should we start answering questions? Hi everyone! Thanks for being here!
Yes. Looking thanks for being here. Hey! There's somebody.
Hi Ashley!
Hello, Ashley.
So we had some technical difficulties to figure out this morning, and it's a good thing we figured it out. So I guess we'll start answering questions. Some people send in some questions ahead of time, so we can start with those. So just like basic stuff first. So we just do the basic stuff.
Yeah, just the basic stuff.
Yeah. So Tamara Johnson and a bunch of other people kind of like ask those basic questions like how, when, where'd you meet, how'd you get engaged, that kind of thing. So I guess do you want to talk about how, when, where did we meet?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Okay, you go.
Okay. I was on an app called Hinge, and it's a nightmare. However, it did lead me to come across Becca's profile, and I saw that she was at the very least an extremely interesting person, which I was right about. And then we got a chance to meet, and I found out that she is also an exceedingly good and wonderful person. So, lucky me, we met on Hinge, and it was right around New Year's, wasn't it?
Like right before New Year's.
December 30th. This was the day I was in the airport.
Yeah, we were actually both in airports.
Yeah.
I was leaving the Salt Lake airport on my way to Ohio, and I remember, I think my friend Brenda told me about Hinge, and just like because I was bored in the airport, I downloaded it and like slapped together a profile, and then before I got on the plane, I wasn't even done with the profile yet. Before I got on the plane, Mike messaged me.
I did.
And then I messaged him back.
Yeah.
And then got on the plane, and I got really sick for a few weeks.
Yes.
And then so we were kind of like intermittently. Is that a word?
Yeah, we were intermittently
messaging, and then yeah, I got back to Seattle. We met, and then we've been together ever since.
It was magical, absolutely magical. The magic refuses to stop, and we are refusing to not go along with it.
Yeah.
Magic.
So that's like the how, when, where did we meet situation.
Yeah.
How did we get engaged?
Yeah.
So, pretty early on, I think we would kind of go through these like practices of like daydreaming and thinking about like, I don't know, like homesteading in cabins and just like.
Yeah, we were describing to each other what we wanted our personal futures to look like, and the amount of overlap was significant and noteworthy. And I have no experience with livestock or animal husbandry, regular husbandry, not yet. Give it 2 weeks from yesterday. Regular husband, there we go. No experience with animal husbandry until Valentine's Day weekend. And I think this is important to talk about, like, our engagement, is because for me this felt like it might have been like a threshold crossing, a make or break, where we went to a farm that Becca has close friends, and we were there for a shearing day for some ewes that were going to lamb in the lambing season. And I got gumboots and gloves on and got hands on, and I'm pretty sure, like, I sealed the deal. Like, I impressed Becca a lot. She was really, really, she was moved. She was touched by how hard in the paint I went, grabbing ewes by the face and
butt.
And the butt. I'm trying to make it on camera so that it works. This is face right here. So, not long after that, we talked about what we wanted for our futures. We had been. And,
yeah, and kind of, like, talking about our futures actually together, but not actually saying what that would involve or how that would come to pass. And if we were just, like, one day, like, looking at property.
Yeah. Also, after we had the conversation where we're, like, in the kitchen, we're making dinner or something like that, and you're like, I'm not sure exactly how you said it, but the tone of it was essentially, it's like, hey, you want to give this at least a few years?
Well, no, because you were like, oh, okay, listen, this is my impression. This is my impression of you.
What would this Q&A be without your extremely good impression?
You're like, well, okay, like, if we're together for, like, you know, for at least, like, a few years and blah, 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 and then I was like, well, let's just plan on that. Let's just plan on that.
Let's plan on that.
So we'd had that conversation, and then I guess, one morning we were just, like, looking at property, just, like, daydreaming and looking at property and talking about, like, what we'd build on things.
Yes.
And then I said...
You did say.
I says.
You said.
I was like, should we just get married?
You didn't say it like that.
Yes, I did.
No.
Okay, tell me what I said.
You said, should we get married? You did it like that with your face. Yeah, your face was wrenched up, keyed up with profound joy. And there we were. I was like, yeah, we should. Let's do it. Let's go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we high-fived.
That's probably true.
Yeah. And then we high-fived. We're like, nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah. Where we live after we're married. I mean, for the time being here.
Yeah.
This is my apartment. Yeah. So we're gonna be in Seattle for
Yeah. We're gonna be in Seattle for the time being. Yeah.
Okay, Holly Bloomline Harker asked, when did you realize you were in love?
I think you should take this.
I think you should take it.
Okay. Okay. I realized that I very easily could be in love on our first date. And I've told Becca this. I knew that I was in for it on the first day that we spent together, where it started out as like, let's meet for brunch. And we met at 11 o'clock on Sunday, January 19th at Hattie's Hat in Ballard, and we had a really nice breakfast, and then we were going to go to Discovery Park, but Becca was not feeling super well. She was so sick.
I was like coughing constantly, and like we walked like half a block, and I was like, I don't think walking is going to work for me.
It was rough. But then we went back to my apartment and we played a board game, and we sat on the floor and drank fizzy water, and then later on we went to see a documentary about mushrooms. I was like, it's like such a special lady. Such a special lady. And if you don't agree, we don't need to be friends. We don't. Becca's a profoundly special person. And I knew very, very early on, I was like, she probably doesn't think the same of me. Whatever. We're going to keep moving with this. And I knew that I was like moments away from it. The second weekend we spent together when we moved.
Yeah. Mike came up to Whidbey Island and helped me move all my stuff.
Yeah. And we got you in the U-Haul and got you from Whidbey to downtown Seattle. And I remember thinking, if this can be fun, this is very special.
Yeah.
Very, very special.
It was fun, and it was like
Yeah,
we had a lot of mishaps too.
We had a lot of mishaps, but we also had bagel sandwiches, and we were like high-fiving.
And we saw that frog.
We did see that super cool frog.
Yeah.
We did. We saw those fearless Whidbey Island deer.
Yeah. All of those things.
Yeah, it was nice. Very nice.
So I think when I first realized I was in love with you, well, I mean, I knew that I had like feelings, but I like they were sitting. I wasn't like vocalizing them, and when you accidentally told me that you loved me.
Okay.
I mean, that happened. He was sitting on it. He was like trying to be cool, saving it for later. But then he accidentally...
I wasn't trying to be cool. I was trying to not say it way sooner than normal people would say it. That doesn't necessarily mean I was trying to be cool.
Fair.
I was like, oh, wait till she gets back from her trip to Scotland. We didn't even have corona pressures back then.
No.
We didn't even have the pressures of corona upon us.
No.
No, we didn't.
Pressures.
It's like, just be cool, just enjoy the feeling and don't make it weird.
But you made it real weird.
I did. I made it weird.
No, so he accidentally told me that he loved me, and then immediately got weird for a while.
Not a while, not like a month.
No, like
got weird for like
an hour.
35 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a negotiation about how long I made it weird. After I told you I loved you, we'll have this conversation deep in our 60s. And he made it weird for roughly the first decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, that's probably true.
1.5 decades making it super weird. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think after he said that, I was thinking about it, and I had some time to think about it because it was weird for about an hour.
35 minutes.
Okay. And then we talked about it, and then I was like, you know what? I love you. I do. I do.
This is how I find out that at the beginning of that conversation, she didn't know.
I did know.
By the end of the conversation, you're like, you know what? I'll sign off on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We're adorable.
I know, right? Okay. All right.
Oh boy.
So Ned asked Mike Murphy, "Who in the world are you?"
Who in the world are you? Ned, with your 3-letter name. Who are you, Ned? Sorry.
That's great. That's great.
So I'm told.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I? I don't know. My name is Mike Murphy. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I am 39 years old. I work with kids. I've also worked in construction. I draw and paint and have goals of doing children's illustration, which is one of the reasons I started working with kids. I was a vegetarian for a while. That did not pan out. I played the bagpipes in high school. It also did not pan out. I mean, it went where you think it would.
Your preconceived notions of where bagpiping in high school could take.
It obviously led to an international competition the summer before I went to college, mm-hmm. in which the band I was in came in the dead in the middle of the pack for the world.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm the most middling bagpiper that has ever lived. Good for me.
Good job.
I don't know. What else? I realize that I'm... Who else am I?
He's really good at spotting birds of prey when we're out.
Yeah.
And various types of mushrooms.
Yeah. I'm good at driving and bird watching at the same time.
One of them suffers a little when the other one comes into play.
Yeah. I'm not as good at bird watching when I'm driving.
Okay.
Yeah. Becca and I were in Schmitz Park. You want to know who I am, Ned? Becca and I were in Schmitz Park, which is a second growth, not old growth forest in West Seattle, and we came around this path where there was a sort of muddy wash where this creek drains down towards the sound, and we hear a barred owl, and Becca believes in life so much that she's like, let's find it. Like, they evolved to not be found inside in my head. And we walked 10 steps off the path, and I birdwatched the heck out of that situation, and I found it.
You did.
But I found it only with your belief in us.
Yeah. I believe in us hard.
Yeah.
My brother just asked if we're monitoring the chat, if they can ask questions, and we.
Hello, Joe.
We kind of are, and yes, you can ask questions, and we'll we had some people asking questions in advance.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, we did.
Holy moly. Hello, Karen. Hello, Leanne.
Yeah, lots of people.
Who that?
Not sure. So yeah, we'll try to kind of hop back and forth.
Amy, of course, answered Joe.
Yes. So that's who Mike Murphy is.
Lol.
Let's see. Okay, Jessica Allred asked, what is it about your fiance that impresses you the most, and how does the other one make you better? I'll go.
Okay.
Mike is really one of the things that I'm impressed about him is he's super humble and really reflective, and that is something that I noticed right away, and that's something that's been constantly helpful. I just see him really wanting to learn and be better all the time, and really obviously trying and taking notes and adjusting the way that you do things, just to I don't know, you're just always trying to be better, and I appreciate that, because I'm not like that. I'm really not. It's hard for me to develop new habits. It's hard for me to get motivated sometimes to do things that are good for me, and I feel proud of you when you do things that are trying to be better. I appreciate that. And also Mike has an ability that, and I think maybe this just speaks to compatibility maybe, but his ability to I don't want to say lecture is the wrong word. It's not the right word. But to encourage me to think about my actions, or to be critical about what I'm doing in a way that's thoughtful, and helps me to I don't know, be more reflective as well. So there's something. Your turn.
I have to say, I'm not sure I agree with the learning, with the trying to be better and learning new things bit, as far as something that doesn't come up in you.
Okay.
Because when I think about how you had your, you had your life and job, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I'm going to get involved in farming, and I'm going to go to shearing school, and now we do this thing where we are figuring out our future as folks who will do that kind of thing by immersing ourselves all the time in doing this. I think that you have this long game of understanding something about your goal and moving towards it as we do this other thing that you took on the skill set to do. And I thought that's amazing. That's super cool. Let's say, what is it about your friends?
Wait, before you go on.
No, I want to answer.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a question.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. Becca can sing. Becca sings, and she uses an incredible amount of tremolo in her voice. And if you know what that means, how it makes me better, no, that's inaccurate. I was kidding, but I'm going to take the question seriously. Is I see the way you approach these tasks in life that if you think about them in terms of big picture, they can be very, very insurmountable. But how you have a capacity to organize things and process things through smaller tasks. We have meetings once a week. We have family meetings where we have things that need to get done. They're assigned a person who will do them. They are, have an acknowledged relevance to our greater goal set. And this isn't the way that I generally process information. Because I love making up and improvising a to-do list to be like, I'm going to crush this weekend and get all my errands done. But when that's done, I don't think about that as like a habit for being that kind of person all the time. Where Becca organizes for a living with the marathon. Becca organizes in so many other capacities where I see a capacity to take big things and make them into sequences of small things and do so lovingly with genuine care. I'm really taken aback by that. So I don't know. I like the role that I get to have in that. And I really want to be like, if it means hammering nails together or fetching sheep, hammering nails together, hammering boards together, and fetching sheep, then that's what it is. But in over time, there will be more tasks to, like what you were saying about me reflecting.
Mm-hmm.
I could get lost that way really easily.
Yeah.
So much less so when we get to talk. So much less so. So I think that has as much to do with what impresses me about Becca as it says something about our compatibility, which I'm glad you touched on as well.
Yeah. Ethan, my nephew, wants to know what your favorite bird of prey is.
Oh boy, favorite bird of prey is the American kestrel, Falco teninculus. It is one of the most colorful birds of prey in North America.
It's little.
It's fairly small, so the evolutionary niche that it occupies is it's like a small prey hunter, and it's like air to ground rather than air to air like peregrine falcons. So it's air to ground, and it can see sort of infrared. Is it infrared? No, it sees ultraviolet, so it tracks its prey by tracking ultraviolet light bouncing off of the ground. And it points itself like into the wind and uses its own shape to like stay very stationary and like sort of track almost like a CNC router machine, just sort of over these. So yeah, the American kestrel, and it's really colorful. That's one of the reasons I bought this shirt, is because it's colors. Vaguely these colors. Yeah, it's a beautiful bird. And great question, Ethan. Thank you so much. That's too perfect an answer. It has to be prepared. James, I bought the shirt. I bought other shirts. I could go through my own American Kestrel collection. A shirt for all seasons. I almost wore a t-shirt with the American Kestrel on it. We're not have to go any further than that.
Madison wants to know what your favorite color is.
Oh boy. Madison. Hello, Madison. Oh man. This could be awesome if it just turns into like new nieces and nephews asking me questions via the internet because their questions are so bad. Alright. My favorite color I would have to say is burnt orange.
Oh.
Burnt orange is my favorite.
It's a color that...
It's sort of, the combined transparency of some of these results in a burnt orange.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, burnt orange is sort of my favorite color.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Ethan and Madison, same question, right back at you. What's your favorite bird? What's your favorite color? Lay it on me. I can't wait to hear.
We'll get back to you.
We'll get back. Okay, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, so Stephen Franson.
What about James?
Also...
Heckling me. Hey, James.
Oh, Madison likes pink.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So Stephen Franson asked, he has a bunch of questions. One of them was the favorite color questions. That's
yeah.
Good. He asked if the sheep ever watch us making out. I mean, probably. Inevitably.
I don't have to account for their behavior.
What's the best thing we've ever done together?
The best thing we've ever done together. Huh.
We've done a lot of cool stuff.
Done some cool stuff. and we've had, we've had adventures over the past few weekends as it's gone from late winter into the spring, and we have had a lot of fun.
I think we're like super good at weekends.
Oh man, we're so good at weekends.
Like weekends always involve cooking some sort of just like insane meal.
Yeah.
Multiple insane meals, getting just regrettably full, and then doing
deeply regrettably full.
Yeah, and then doing something that involves being like dirty and smelly and exerting energy.
So much sheep grit under my fingernails and in the crackles of my hand jewels.
Yeah.
So gnarly, but. Becca bought me coveralls.
I did. It was an investment for myself. Though.
Coveralls. Well, yeah, it's fine, but I felt like such a made guy at that point. On Amazon, they came one day and it was like, "Hey, for our next sheep adventure, check out these coveralls." And at first, I was like, "Did I earn these coveralls?" And I definitely did, at least afterwards, I think. So I don't know. I was a made guy.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
You did.
Wait.
Oh, Ethan's favorite eagle is a bald eagle. My brother's being stupid.
Oh, man.
I mean, silly. He's being silly.
That's a great... Yeah.
Let's see. How often does Mike rub the back of his head on a typical day? I mean, he rubs the front of his head just as much as he rubs the back.
Yeah, a typical day.
Yeah. What airplane would you be if you could be one?
I'm glad that Steven asked this question. I would be a consolidated PBY Catalina, which is a World War II era seaplane that was a sub-hunter, but is also found second use later in its life as planes that fight forest fires, where they get these tanks pumped in and then just like dump glacial or lake water onto forest fires during the dry months, and that's super cool. And my grandfather used to be an engineer on one of these when he was just a kid right out of high school, and he made him an engineer on one of these planes when he was in the Navy in the Caribbean. So PBY Catalina Consolidated. Thanks, Steven. Right back at you. If you were a plane, be as detailed. I double dare you.
He also asked if... no.
Sorry to be so aggro to all these strangers.
You really are. He asked if you could be a sheep, which one would you be? I think I would probably... I'm just taking this question.
I would be.
Yes. I think I would be... probably a baby doll Southdown, because they got them stubby legs.
Yeah.
And they're like chonky.
Yeah.
And
they're adorable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they got really charming smiles,
Yeah, and one thing we were discussing last night about them is because they have these like stubby legs.
Yeah.
They get back up like so quickly.
Incredible leverage.
Because like they just like other sheep, when they're kind of like laying down, their feet are all like out here.
Yeah.
So to get them underneath them, they have to like do a bunch of maneuvering. But baby dolls are just like shoop, and then they're just back up.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks to resiliency.
Yeah. In an MMA sense, they have a breathtaking ground game. Just they just flip themselves over like like magic quarters.
Yeah.
I would be a Jacob ram.
Oh, because they got them crazy horns.
Crazy horns, gnarly faces, and they're spotted. They spotted fleeces.
We had Brooke asked, do I shear Mike's hair, and I absolutely do.
Yeah, free haircuts for life. Look it up.
I 100% do. Let's see. Carter asks, what's your favorite food?
Oh boy.
Yeah, food's hard because so many foods are so good, but I think like together our favorite meal is probably breakfast.
Yeah. Breakfast is... They say it's the most important meal of the day. I don't know if it's the most important, but if you believe, we've gotten really good at getting breakfast foods and making breakfast really at whatever time of day.
Yeah.
And Becca I bought Becca a cast iron skillet because she didn't have one, and she saw one in my apartment when she came over to make dinner. We made chicken, rosemary, veggies, and squash, and it was fantastic. And you said you didn't have a cast iron skillet, so I got you one. And since then, you've taught me how to make omelets that I was incapable of making.
Again, for my benefit.
For your benefit, your pancake recipe just sort of improvised into an understanding of like tasty, floury, sugary goop that comes into delicious cake form. Other things we've done. So breakfast, breakfast is the category. I don't know if we can set further limits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan wants to know what your favorite board game is.
Ethan doesn't know what my favorite board game is.
I mean, we don't play a lot of board games. I enjoy board games more than Mike does.
I'm terrible at board games.
But our very first date, we played this board game called, what is it called?
Grouchy Ladybug.
The Grouchy Ladybug,
right
based on
the illustrations of Eric Carle.
Yeah, based on the book of the same title.
Yeah. Who did The Very Hungry Caterpillar. If you have a child or a niece or a nephew, your own memory of the book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, same illustrator, and they made this board game for 3 to 6 year olds.
Yeah, we rocked it.
That we played on our first date.
No, it was 3 plus.
3 to 6 is what 3 plus. Okay.
Yeah.
3 plus, and it has a lot to do with saying please and thank you. And
knowing which animals are bigger than the
which animals are bigger than other animals.
Yeah, but it's tricky because the animals are drawn the same size. You just have to have prior knowledge of these animals to know which one's bigger.
So what? Just to close that out, Ethan, I don't really know board games that well, and I find that people who try to play board games with me get frustrated because my knowledge of the rules is always a bit slippery. However, the Grouchy Ladybug game was definitely my speed. 3 to 6 year olds, that was definitely, something that I could. They're my people, who I work with. We understand each other, so that's the answer to that question.
Madison wants to know what your favorite dessert is. I mean, it's like whatever happens in my face, I guess. I like cookies and cake and pie and cupcakes and I mean most things. I like milkshakes.
Milkshakes.
Yeah.
Donuts.
That's a breakfast though.
Yeah. We recently had to pretend that cupcakes were donuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that made it all worth it. That was fun.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of right answers as far as favorite dessert, but I'd have to say I'm an ice cream fella.
You are.
Ice cream and pie, like a ice cream and pie a la mode sort of situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's at for me. Yeah. Who planned the first date?
Brooke wants to know who planned the first date. The first date kind of evolved.
Yeah.
So we planned on going to brunch, and we did that, and then we planned on going to the park, and I think we talked about this earlier. I was just too sick to really walk anywhere. So then we went to Goodwill.
Yeah.
We bought this game that we played, the hungry. Wait, no, what is it?
Grouchy.
The Grouchy Ladybug. And then I actually had a hair appointment that day.
You did. We went to the salon.
So then he came with me to get my hair did.
Yep.
And then we went back, played the game some more.
We did.
And then we went to go see a movie.
And then we went to go see a movie.
It just kind of kept happening.
And we were going to go to Discovery Park and make sort of an open-ended day of that, by just sort of walking around out in the... And we've since gone to Discovery Park.
A couple times.
Yeah. We went and we foraged for nettles that we turned into very super delicious ravioli.
Yeah.
We went to the lighthouse and it was super dark, so we were there for like 5 minutes and then we turned back. So we've since made good on our original date plan, but I don't know. So we kept it open-ended.
Yeah, it just kind of kept happening.
Yeah, and we did. That was a long first date. Our first date we spent many hours together, and it was wonderful. It's great.
What's your favorite book? Ethan wants to know.
It's my favorite book.
Yeah.
Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke is up there as my favorite book. Childhood's End really stands out. I used to have a real love for like all things Arthur C. Clarke and Vonnegut, but the one that stands out most was Childhood's End. That was a super good book, and that's weird concept sci-fi. What's your favorite book? I would like to know. I'm always gonna throw the question back if it's one of your nieces and nephews. Anybody else? If it's not about a plane, don't expect me to.
I think my favorite book, I was just thinking about this, is like some sort of, I was like looking at my bookshelf. I think the books that I come back to the most are actually reference books. I have a book about edible wild plants that I like to look at a lot. That's probably my favorite book. Ethan likes Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Nice. All
right, Micah wants to know, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is this one of those questions where we have to agree?
I think we're meant to argue.
We're meant to argue.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I think technically yes. Why not? Bread, meat.
Bread.
Technical
meat,
sandwich.
Dressing. The bread is for handling.
Do we agree?
I don't know. I think it gets a little semantically dicey because you could have a hot dog without a bun. You know? There are people who have like, there are soups where somebody's ma as a kid would crack open a can of soup and then do a hot dog in the skillet, and then you'd cut the hot dog and chuck the hot dog in the soup, and that was grate some cheese on it, and that was like a delicious thing. Nothing to do with that bun. I think when the bun is brought into play, that's when we could say this is a sandwich configured hot dog.
Okay.
You know?
I have no argument for that.
But if you were to take a hot dog and fold a slice of pizza around it, boom. You've entered sandwich country, friend.
Really?
I think so.
So is pizza bread then?
The crust of the pizza is bread. One of the primary structural elements of pizza, the foundation, is bread. Unless you're one of those folks who uses cauliflower, and I love you if you are. You know?
Good job.
Thanks.
Amy wants to know, in an alternate timeline, the two of us are in the same high school. Are we friends? Secret crushes? Do you date? I'm gonna say probably no to all of those.
No to all of them. Yeah.
And I think if we're both our high school selves in the same high school.
I don't even think in our 20s.
Probably not.
Why not? Yeah,
No.
I don't even think in our 20s.
No.
We are made for each other's late 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great question, Amy. Yeah, definitely not. I would say definitely not.
I mean, I think we'd probably be friendly. I don't, like if we were in the same class together.
Yeah.
If we were like made to be lab partners.
Yeah.
I think we'd get along.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be like calling each other after school to hang out.
I wouldn't want to be in like a group project with you where we had to like make a presentation if we were in college together or high school.
I just would have done the whole thing.
You would have done the whole thing, and I would have been like, man, I really wish I would have done something. And I wouldn't have, you know. And like that Becca Shim lady, she's really got her stuff together. She's really got her ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy asked about would we be mortal enemies, but probably not.
No, not mortal enemies.
No.
Yeah.
I think we'd I think if I saw you in the hallway, I'd give you the nod.
So.
You know.
Yeah, and if ever we were in some sort of social situation, yeah, depending on how my medication was balanced or whatever, maybe I'd have gotten a chuckle out of you. You know, you'd be like, he's so stupid. You know, he's so
silly.
dumb.
He's silly.
Silly.
He's silly.
So silly.
So silly.
Yeah. I can't tell what James is laughing at. Yeah.
I'm guessing that's Carolyn. Asked, did we already discuss how the two of us met?
We did.
We did. We met on an app.
We did.
Because
met on an app. Yeah. It's not really nice.
Okay, let's see. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Your partners traveled back in time before we met.
Amy Hebden.
Yeah.
Amy Middleton Hebden section.
Okay, so your partners traveled back in time before.
9 questions from Amy.
Okay, will you be quiet so I can read the question? Okay, your partners traveled back in time to give you some crucial information. What did they tell you to convince you that you're their future spouse? I think that I tell you something. I probably like quote Letterkenny and
sing the Christmas waltz.
Yeah, probably sing the Christmas waltz.
Yeah.
Would that make sense to you pre knowing me though?
I no doubt would have been enchanted. No doubt. Not a doubt in my mind. It wouldn't have made sense, but eventually it all would have made sense. It all would have made undeniable sense, as it does now. Great job, time traveler.
I might actually talk about your American Kestrel shirt.
Yeah, if you were to like casually mention like, yeah, I don't think I'm qualified to do that kind of time meddling. If I were to go back in time and say something, you'd be like, it's definitely got a different tone to it. If me now goes back in time to address Becca younger, how much younger? Like if I were to meet you when you were a teenager, super creepy vibe.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I'm from the future and we're gonna get married. That's like, call the police.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would.
So,
I would have called the police.
I don't know. Maybe if I were to go back to your like mid-20s. When were you in New York?
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s in New York?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mid-20s. If I were to like show up in your mid-20s when you were in New York with no doubt all of your super charming friends, I would have wanted it to be at your Halloween party. One of your epic Halloween parties. I would want it to show up in my coveralls and my gumboots, smelling of lanolin. Smell is very important.
The thing is, like, mid-20s in New York, I wouldn't have known.
It doesn't matter. The smell would have been.
It would have taken me
wonderful.
Time.
The smell is one of those things that's most tightly associated with memory. Yeah. So if this has to have like tenure to when we actually met, I would want to show up with like a really good like lanolin smell, and just be like, hey, what do you think of these fleeces? And you would associate fleeciness and that sort of goodness with the balance of like hard work and comfort and all this other stuff that we're like going for. I don't know. That was really organized at the beginning and then very, very disorganized out towards the end.
It's a little microcosm of life there.
We're fine.
Okay. Who would survive longer in a zombie apocalypse? I'm skipping down here. I think you might.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Scrappy.
I think I would just like I can do like a preparedness thing, board up the windows and everything, but I think after a while I might just be like, you know what? Eat my brains.
Yeah.
I think you might fight though.
I would definitely fight.
Yeah.
If I'm going up against the zombie apocalypse, I'm going down swinging. You know?
Guns blazing.
Guns blazing. I have a key to a tool library where I have all the pickaxes and shovels and saw blades to affix to other things. There's a lot of kit that you can make to survive, at least flourish for 15 minutes in a zombie apocalypse. I don't know. I'm not sure who's surviving longer. Maybe I would just draw a bunch of attention to myself, and you'd like quietly be like, you'd like put on zombie makeup like Bill Murray.
Yeah, just like get all slathered in zombie goo and just like blend in.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather have.
Our brain's great.
No. I'd rather have them eat my brains.
Okay.
I'm not putting on zombie goo.
Well, you do favor authenticity over pretense.
It's true.
Yeah.
Where do we see ourselves in 5 years?
Yeah. Where do we see ourselves in 5 years?
Yeah.
The surface of Mars. Sorry. Don't.
Well, I mean, Mike's been like drawing some like plans.
Yeah.
Some like layout things for our future home.
Future home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, hopefully in the next couple of years we'll be somewhere with more space and
more space.
Some critters.
Some critters.
And,
some rows that we can plant, and a place where we can and root cell or harvest type stuff.
Yeah.
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 It'd be good. Yeah.
Let's see. Other than inviting more people, Amy asks, what's one thing that you would have chosen to do differently if you weren't getting married during a pandemic?
Where is that? Other than inviting more people. We weren't getting married during a pandemic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, neither of us wanted anything like huge. Obviously we would have more people.
We would have more people, but we both had the conversation that we're like, we're not big wedding ceremony people. No, we're not like big gathering people. Yeah. I don't know. This is a tough question.
We would have had like awesome food.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We had awesome food. I had my folks.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been nice,
mm-hmm.
but it's not gonna happen. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting sort of value charge to that question, because it's saying what would we do differently if we weren't getting married during a pandemic. I think that the pandemic has actually given us so much time together to like figure out, do we actually work as a couple? We get straight to the like meat and potatoes of what do you value, what do you want, who are you as a person,
who's taking out the trash,
who does dishes better, who does them more often, who I think we all know.
We do.
I think you do them better, I do them more often.
That's true.
See? We all know. Yeah. It's sort of a weird laboratory in which to like do all these trial runs of like, who are we as people that are compatible or not compatible. And I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
As awful as it is for so many reasons, and so much of that can be very, very abstract to think about. As awful as it is for so many reasons, I am extremely grateful for it having been a venue for us to be able to do things together and really run some tests on whether or not we work.
Yeah. People. Yeah, I think we like pretty much daily kind of run into like, not even, they're not like snags, but like just like little like, oh, that's something that we need to think about, or that's something we need to like talk about or figure out. Like things that, I don't know, I can't even like think of an example, but things that like would have taken longer to learn if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic.
Look at this.
Yes, so do you want to ask that question?
I think it's weird that he's not asking you. Yes. James Hebden writes, Mike, what is your favorite stellar object? Please include its full technical designation along with the full name of the person or organization that discovered it. And the observatory that was used. I don't know if I could do that. Is stellar object, like cosmic body?
I'd say my answer is the sun.
Voyager 1, I'm a big fan of. We made a gold record and we sent it into space. That's humans. That's who we are. We made a gold record and it's got pictures. It's got whale noises on it. It's got blues on it. It's got babies crying and the sound of a kiss, and it's got a drawing of naked people, and it's bam out past Pluto at this point. Bully for us. That's who we are as a species. Rock on. I also like Cruinia, which is sometimes called Earth's second moon. It's a Gaelic word that's like Cruinthne. Cruithne. Doesn't matter. But we have a second moon. Not that anyone looks past the first moon. Oldest child nonsense up there. Anyway, yeah. So my blood sugar's getting a little weird.
What's the question?
I don't remember anymore. I don't. The big yellow one's the sun. No, shout out to Joe for that sweet Brian Regan reference. The big yellow one is the sun. Yeah. That's awesome.
Joe wants to know if you were to write and illustrate a book together. I guess if we were to write and illustrate a book together, what would it be about?
If we were to write a book together, what would it be about?
Write and illustrate a book together. Like making breakfast.
Yeah.
Shearing sheep.
Making breakfast and shearing sheep.
Pizza.
Oof. Yeah.
But there aren't a lot of plot lines happening.
No. We gotta figure
These are
out.
topics.
Yeah. One sheep breaks away from the flock to figure out whether or not there's a certain way you can make pizza for breakfast. Ugh. We're not gonna win anyway.
No,
we're not winning the Caldecott for that one, but there's I feel like there's something there, there was stuff that we did about that Jacob Ram, the horn section versus the horn section. Remember that? Like Jacob Rams have really weird horns, and then
there's like a chorus of
frogs. A chorus of frogs all playing tubas and trombones because they're a horn section too. So that was fun. I don't know.
It would definitely involve anthropomorphic animals, though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Once you anthropomorphize them, you gotta put clothes on them.
Just the top half, though. That's like
Donald Duck, Winnie the Pooh. Okay, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mickey wears shorts. Yeah. Mickey goes shirtless.
That's true.
Yeah.
Point is, though, only half clothes.
Yeah.
They don't need a full outfit.
Like a Louisiana Uber driver. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway. I like how there's conversation in the chat between Brooke and James. Like, they're really trying to parse this out. It's good.
Okay, let's see. What do we have here? It's 10 years in the future. This is from Amy. It's 10 years in the future, you both become minor celebrities. What is each of you best known for?
Oh boy.
Minor celebrities.
Yeah, I think you're gonna do it.
I mean, like, okay, maybe you're a minor celebrity for like writing and illustrating a kid's book.
That could be my 15 minutes, arguably.
Yeah.
What if that turned into my 15 minutes of minor celebrity?
In 10 years.
Yeah.
Minor celebrity in 10 years. I don't know. What would I do? My foot is like right in the camera there. Cool. No, not anymore.
Oh, do it. Do it. I want to see it.
Here it is.
We're on the planet of the toes.
Yeah, James wanted to know if we could make this any more casual, like if we could put some more pillows in here and like dress down anymore. You're decently dressed.
You put on makeup.
I just for the camera. I don't know. What would I be minorly famous for? I don't know. maybe I was the subway hero. Maybe I saved someone on the subway. And now Mike's typing.
I don't know.
Okay.
This is a weird flex.
Okay.
Weird question.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. What are we doing for wedding rings?
Yeah. On the day?
They're just like in general. That was a question that Amy asked.
Yeah.
So like we're not we talked about not doing rings but instead doing tattoos, and then not matching tattoos because that's but commemorative tattoos. Mainly because like I don't really want a ring. It can get lost. It can get snagged on stuff, like all kinds of things. But I want something kind of, like as a reminder.
Yeah.
So we are going to be getting commemorative tattoos at some point in time once the tattoo parlor's open.
Yep.
Day of though, we're just going to do
twine.
We're just gonna use twine.
Yeah, we're gonna use twine.
High quality jute.
I don't know what that word means.
Jute.
What is jute?
It's like a natural, twiny, ropey sort of thing. Yeah.
There's so many weird things happening in the chat right now.
I know. We'll catch up later.
There's so many.
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. What's something that really made you fall for the other person? I don't know if there's like one thing. I know that I have moments that are completely unremarkable moments where I'm just like, good grief. Like, I love this person. And it's usually like, nothing. It's like, okay, no, there's definitely like distinct times. Like one time I was in my office room working, and then Mike came in and brought me 2 slices of bacon on a plate. Just like delivered bacon to my desk.
I did.
That was really, I just was filled with love and lard.
Yeah.
At that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hi Gabe.
Oh.
Hi
Gabe. Gabe. What's up? Holy moly. It's Veronica Lupo. Oh man, now I have to have a Brooklyn accent again, right? Pretty sure I'd been avoiding that. No, probably not. I don't want to lose the thread, and I would like to answer that question. And it's a difficult question because you have to pick a thing, pick a moment. And at a certain point when you had at a certain point when you had come over for dinner one night, we were gonna cook chicken, and you picked up my ukulele and you started playing the Christmas waltz. You just figured it out. You knew the melody and you started to figure out the chords. And I could tell you were sitting down over on the other side of the room away from the kitchen as I was chopping. I think it was probably chopping that squash that you brought over. It was a very, very handsome squash. And you just sort of plucking along, and then you just sort of started singing and played it. And you had this grin on your face. And it was a very, very special moment, and I knew then that I was going to give you 2 slices of bacon on a plate some months into the future. Not many, because we're moving fast here, but there are times when I'll say it this way. There are times when Becca and I go out for shearing jobs. And, we go, we meet, we kind of have a customer service sort of, affect to these people letting us onto the property and handle their animals. We could be anybody with an Instagram account, etc. We come up, and Becca is a naturally wonderful and charming person, and these folks welcome her onto the property, and then she just basically endures this like wrestling match with this animal that does not want to like sit still and outweighs the both of us. I think to myself, holy moly, hachi machi, what kind of... I'm just watching this happen and being like, I want to help, I want to do something, but there's no room for me in there. There's no room.
You help so much.
And then eventually I do from time to time, but most of the time that I'm not helping, I'm looking on and being like, you are a Titan queen. Yeah. And like build an effigy, a temple. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I don't want to make it too weird. I'm pretty sure that ship has sailed. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
We're at an hour, and
we're at an hour?
Yeah. So
good for us.
Like, thanks everyone for joining us. I mean, that was actually kind of fun.
I think we're at an hour.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah. It's 101, Beb.
Oh.
And
oh yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna sign off, but keep in touch. Like, you all have ways of getting in touch with us.
Yeah.
And we want to talk to you. We want to touch base, and we're getting married in 2 weeks. So you can tune in for that too on this same channel, and we love you guys, and thanks for joining us. Bye, Gabe.
Bye, Gabe.
Turn this off now.
How do I do this?
Hold on.